Hi everyone. Today we're doing a geotechnical engineering terminology quiz. Let's see how many you can get right. Get ready. Here's the first question. The ratio of the volume of water present in a given soil mass to the total volume of its voids is known as. The person who introduced the term soil mechanics was. The valid range for S, the degree of saturation of soil in percentage, is. Which of the following methods is best suited for determination of permeability of coarse-grained soils? The moisture in soil that is removed by heating is called. Residual soils are formed by. Talus is the soil transported by. Chemical weathering of soil is caused due to. Which of the following types of soil is transported by gravitational forces? Water-formed transported soil is. Drift refers to material that is gathered, broken apart, moved, and deposited again by. Loess is silty clay formed by the action of. Transporting and redepositing soils is done by. You are given a sample of soil containing coarse grains to determine its water content. You will use. Fundamental relationship between dry density, bulk density, and water content is. Which of the following methods is most accurate for the determination of the water content of soil? The ratio of the weight of water to the weight of solids in a soil sample is called. Dispersed type of soil structure is an arrangement comprising particles having. The geologic cycle for the formation of soil is. The buoyant unit weight is equal to the saturated density. Select the correct statement. If G is specific gravity of sand particles, E is void, the critical hydraulic gradient is. The weight of a container is W sub 1, and that of container with soil sample is W sub 2. If the weight of the container and oven-dried soil sample is W sub 3, the moisture content of the soil is... Pick up the correct statement from the following. If the water content of a fully saturated soil is 100%, then the voids ratio of the sample is... Water content of soil can be...
If the voids of a soil mass are of air only, the soil is termed as... Pick up the correct statement from the following. If the bulk density of the soil is and water content, then dry density of the soil is... When the degree of saturation is 0, the soil mass under consideration represents... For proper field control, which of the following methods is best suited for quick determination of water content of a soil mass? The water content of soil is defined as the ratio of the ratio of the volume of voids to the total volume of the given soil mass is known. A fully saturated soil is said to be a pycnometer is used to determine the specific yield of soil depends upon sedimentation analysis is based on the assumption a pycnometer is used to determine the ratio of volume of voids to the total volume of soil mass is called the ratio of the volume of voids to the volume of solids in a given soil mass is known as the hydrometer method of sedimentation analysis differs from the pipette analysis mainly in the ratio of the weight of given volume of soil solids to the weight of an equal volume of distilled water at the given temperature is known. A partially saturated soil is classified as valid range for N, the percentage of voids, is voids ratio of a soil mass can the specific gravity of quartz is the specific gravity of sands is approximately Hydrometer readings are corrected for the density of soil can be increased compression of soil occurs rapidly if voids are filled with if the sand in situ is in its densest state, then the relative density of sand is the factor which affects the compaction is
the property of a soil which allows it to be deformed rapidly without rupture, elastic rebound, and also a volume change is known. Plasticity index is defined as the range of water content between the water content in a soil sample when it continues to lose weight without losing the volume is called if the natural water content of soil mass lies between its liquid limit and plastic limit, the soil mass is said to be in the water content of soil which represents the boundary between plastic state and liquid state is known as a decrease in water content results in a reduction of the volume of a soil, N. If the plasticity index of a soil mass is 0, the soil is according to Otterberg, the soil is said to be of medium plasticity if the plasticity index Pi is which of the following soils has more plasticity index? The liquid limit and plastic limit exist in the maximum size of clay particles is the soil which contains finest grain particles is physical properties of a permeant which influence permeability are which of the following methods is more suitable for the determination of permeability of clayey soil? A critical hydraulic gradient may occur when the property of a soil which permits water to percolate through it is called rise of water table above the surface causes the effective stress on a soil mass is the neutral stress in a soil mass is the shear strength of a soil depends on The angle of internal friction is least for testing a saturated clay for shear strength, the test recommended is the triaxial apparatus is usually used for shear strength of a soil is a unique function of the angle that Coulomb's failure envelope makes with the horizontal is called the angle of internal friction of clays is usually failure of a slope occurs only when total shear force is pick up the correct statement from the following. If the shearing stress is 0 on two planes, then the angle between the two planes is the shearing strength of a cohesionless soil depends upon if a cohesive soil specimen is subjected to a vertical compressive load, the cracks will incline at an angle to the horizontal. The shear strength in plastic undrained clay is due to the vein shear test is used for the in situ determination of the undrained strength of the intact, fully saturated through a point in a loaded soil. The principal stress is maximum on cohesionless soil is unconfined compressive strength test is the lateral earth pressure on a retaining wall the bearing capacity of a soil depends upon when a cohesionless soil attains quick condition, it loses the ultimate bearing capacity of a soil is the maximum pressure which a soil can carry without shear failure is called Terzaghis bearing capacity factors N sub C, N sub Q, and N sub R are functions of the maximum net pressure intensity causing shear failure of soil is known And that's a wrap for our geotechnical engineering terminology quiz. How many did you get? Comment your score below and let's see who got them all.